Yo, what's up, aliens? Ahi here with episode 5 of the Wub Theory podcast. Today we got my homie Stylust. What's up, man?
What up? What up? What's cracking,
Dude,
Chris? How you doing?
so good to have you on here. And I mean, we've known each other for years now,
We sure
and
have.
we've collaborated a couple of times, but we just got this new collaboration going that was just released on my Subsidia EP called Heavyweights.
Heavyweights.
We were just talking
Heavyweights.
about how you got some heavyweight curtains in your new studio.
Yeah, it's like kind of I got bay windows in the front of my studio so I can actually see out, which is really nice. But when I want to dampen the sound, I got some heavyweight curtains for that.
Heavyweights! Ah!
Curtains, curtains.
Curtains, curtains. Anyways, y'all will hear
Let's
this
talk about
song.
that.
We say Titans. But yeah, that's awesome. So you just moved up to Portland?
Portland, Oregon,
Nice.
Pacific
There's a lot of
Northwest.
producers up there, right?
Yeah, I guess a few years ago there was kind of a mass migration of a lot of producers out of San Francisco. A lot of people went to LA, including myself, and a lot of people came up here. So yeah, we got a great community up here, man, in Portland. Tons of people, G Jones, Zeke Beats, E-Prom, all those crazy guys. So
Wow,
it's dope.
that's
We
awesome.
got Truth up here as well, so
Oh, really? Cool.
let's fucking go.
Dude, it's so cool to see just like how bass music like brings people from like all these different places in the world together
It's
for
true.
something. Like you originally came from Canada, right?
Yep, Vancouver, Canada.
Yeah. And then yeah, last time we were hanging out, we were in LA in downtown. And though how did we meet? I think we've asked this question before and we were a little confused by it.
Yeah, mine answer was a little different. Like, we definitely met probably at Shambhala or Burning Man way back in the day, kind of in passing.
Yeah.
You were doing DJing for, who was it, Lucent Dossier?
Yeah, yeah, I was making their
Yeah.
music.
So I think that's when I first kind of met you. And then we got to kick it properly at LIB that one year where we both played the stacks back to back, which was a lot of fun.
Oh, that was such a good show.
Hell
Oh,
yeah.
that was like my first like big audience as Ahi.
I remember you being geeked out after that. I shared your excitement 1,000% on that one. That was a lot
Yeah.
of fun.
And I think that was around the time where your track Flex
Yeah.
came out, and I like started. You had just ended your set, and I started with my remix of it of Flex, and I was just like,
Uh-huh.
ah, I love it when like a transition like goes really smoothly between artists.
Yeah, that was definitely a cool moment. Good call on that one.
Yeah, but you've been like almost like a staple of like Shambhala for like a long time, and
hmm
like the bass music scene there. Like, when did you first get into it?
So basically, I got into music production in the early 2000s, doing a lot of hip hop and local stuff in Vancouver and Canada. And then basically that morphed into the electronic stuff around 2009, 2010, stuff like that. I was touring with my homie Emotions, and he's the one that got me to do my first kind of dubstep remix. I didn't really know what dubstep was, so I had to look it up and did this remix. And we shot a video to it, and it ended up like just crushing at shows. Um, so that was a lot of fun and kind of started me on my bass music journey.
Wow. So like those early days of dubstep, like what was that like?
That was insane, man. Like I remember, we so many new tunes were coming out and like the heavier the better. So it was just like it was a ton of wow factor and a lot of the sounds that were kind of like, oh, whatever now kind of blew our minds back then, like the Cookie Monster stuff and the Circus Record stuff obviously and just a ton of stuff. It was crazy. Like I remember just playing 40 seconds of each song getting heavier and heavier and heavier and not matching kind of key signatures and stuff like that, just going fucking hammer. But it was a fun time for sure. It was cool.
Yeah,
So we,
'cause
we
like
had a weekly in Vancouver
yeah.
called Whatever's Dope Wednesdays. So we had a lot of dope local talent come through there. It was a small room with fucking massive speakers. So it really set the vibe pretty good.
And because like part of your sound, it's interesting, like going from hip hop into dubstep. I feel like part of your sound is that fusion of like hip hop and dubstep.
Yeah, man. I like to call it thug step, and I like to think I'm definitely a pioneer of that sound. I mean, when I was first doing a lot of the hip hop mashups, a lot of the dudes would kind of look down on me or like, say, "Oh, you can't do that," or "That's not traditional dubstep," or whatever. And a lot of those similar dudes are trying to get hip hop mashups going now. So it's full circle. But I'm glad to pave the way in that a little bit.
Yeah, that's really cool. I think that's where like a lot of like creativity comes from is like, merging two different worlds that like didn't coexist together, beforehand.
For sure.
Yeah. So, I think that's where I heard your sound was maybe I first heard it at Shambhala in 2015.
Okay.
Because I think we were both playing on the Village stage, and I think I've actually seen some video. I'm like back on the stage behind you because I think you were playing like
No way. I gotta see that.
uh you were playing I don't know if it was the same night or earlier. I don't know when it was. I can't remember the times, but
Was it
like
when the village was all like kind of white, like big, kind of looked like a castle in a way?
no, it wasn't that long ago. 2015 it was still like the half dome,
Yeah.
and it had a chandelier, like a big
Oh yeah,
fancy
of course.
chandelier.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I just remember being like, I've never seen a half dome chandelier stage before, and it's got the most amazing bass rig. And I just saw you playing, and you got your jersey on, and you had some rapper emceeing for part of it,
That was
and just
Christian
everyone was going
Slater.
nuts. And it was just like, I was like, wow, Canada.
Not a bad vibe up there, man. Not a bad vibe.
It was a really magical experience. Um, But yeah, I think that's really when I like, because like I'd gotten into dubstep through Skrillex, I think, through in like 2012. I didn't really know about it much other than hearing like some random dubstep at like a club with three people in it
Yeah,
in
that's
like
how it was.
2000 like 13 or something like that.
Uh,
And so I just like I didn't understand it, and now look at me.
Look at you go. Now you're a heavyweight, son.
I'm a heavy titan. Okay, so
Now you got Excision playing your joints.
yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, yeah, Excision's playing our collab.
I've seen the videos, man. Looks
Yeah,
epic, bro. I gotta catch a show.
yeah. It's really cool to see that support, and also he does a really good job of the visuals with it
And
too.
the blend, bro. You know,
Uh,
like how the track, I know we'll probably get into this later, but
yeah.
the track goes from 75 to 80, I think, or maybe it goes from 80 to 85. We'll have
It,
to look
it
it up.
it goes from 80 to 80 to 85, 80 to 85. Yeah, or
Yeah, so
160 to 170, as
he
I
does
put
a
it.
blend with while it's pitching up and drops into the higher pitch.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that actually got me geeked up because I don't even mix it like that. I mix out before the tempo change. Shit.
I know. And also I noticed that he like shortened the drop a little bit too. And that's
Okay.
something I really noticed like eh, geeking out on Excision pacing, live
Yeah.
pacing. I like gone through his
I
live
gotta
sets and
go
like
experience it.
dissected.
Haven't seen him since Shambhala played.
Yeah. It's very different nowadays than, well, I mean, it just like in terms of the pacing, it's so
Hmm.
fast. It's pretty cool. I find it super fascinating. But well, I also wanted to talk about is bamboo bass,
Hell yeah.
because that was another thing. That was like, how involved were you in bamboo bass? Because that was a festival in Costa Rica that was
Yeah.
amazing.
I was a partner in that and more kind of on the talent buying and like vibe setting kind
Mm.
of stance, I didn't hire the security. I didn't, do a bunch of stuff that the tedious stuff that the people behind the scenes really deserve credit for,
The
Shelby,
Shelby,
Shelby and Jordy, they did
yeah.
a ton of work to make that happen. And we were just lucky enough to go celebrate every February down in Costa Rica and through Bamboo Bass. And it all started through Envision Festival, really. Josh from Envision invited me out there maybe maybe 8 or 9 years ago. So that's kind of when I got my first taste, and then I just fell in love with the country and the vibes down there. So we wanted to do something similar, but a little heavier than Envision kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, that's why I thought it was so cool. Is like, it's like Envision Festival in the sense that you're like in a jungle setting, but it's like definitely like more bass music rather than like, world bass music or something like that. Definitely
Yeah,
on the
we didn't
heavier
really
side.
cross over any headliners or anything like that. And I brought kind of all my West Coast bass peeps. We had the sleeveless takeovers a bunch of years, and then the DDD takeovers, and some house takeovers as well. So yeah, it was a vibe out there,
I
man.
remember I played like one of the side stages,
Hmm.
and yeah, I just remember just loving the curation of that event so much, and the fact that there were zip lines
Hell yeah, yeah.
in
The
the, at least
original.
in the 2019
That's
one.
right. The original site was a zip line, like motocross, dirt bike, skateboarding kind of area. So it was super vibey that first location we had for it.
Yeah, yeah, we did the zip lines, and then also we went like on a nature hike into the jungle and saw like leaf cutter ants, like in their little
Yeah,
lines,
yeah,
carrying the
yeah,
little
yeah.
leaves and everything. And they're these plants that you poke, and then they shrivel up
Totally.
and everything. So it was just really cool to be able to like experience some life stuff along with a festival.
Yeah, I always looked at it as like a playcation,
Hmm.
which are kind of my favorite things to do.
Like what inspired that kind of thing? Like, was it just like you were just talking with friends? They're like, let's do this thing.
Yeah, well, I think the first thing that set it off was they shipped a PK system out there to
Mm.
Jaco, Costa Rica.
Starts with the sound.
And yeah, and then we had to go flex those speakers. So they invited us out, and I wasn't that involved with the first year. I
Mm.
kind of came on very last minute because I didn't know if I could make it, but I ended up catching like a red eye flight, getting there on Sunday night for a set for the first year, and I was like, oh, okay, maybe there's some merit to this. This could be really dope, and I joined a lot stronger on the second year running.
Oh yeah, that was such a cool event.
Hmm.
Let me check on this. Oh, yeah, I was just glitching out there for a second, but I think we're good. Um, yeah, I remember that, and just like the stage design, it looked like this giant bug thing. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
this
the
like
second stage.
glowing LED bug demon, like otherworldly creature.
Bro, and some bugs visit you when you're playing. I don't know if it happened during your set, but one year at a division, this bug was just hovering around me for probably a good 7 or 8 minutes. This massive, like, size of my palm bug was getting on my things and landed on my turntable, would spin around, fly around, and it was like totally interacting with me the whole thing. I must have looked crazy up there. And I remember Shelby and Jordy were playing a back-to-back set, and a fucking like pink tarantula dropped down on them, like onto their gear.
Oh my
And
God.
Jordy, or they both live out there, so luckily it happened to them, and they could kind of react without freaking the fuck out. And so yeah, it's the nature out there is insane, man. The bugs
Yeah.
are like the same bugs you see out here, some of them, but just like 10 times the size.
Yeah, they were really crazy out there, and also the crocodiles or alligators out there.
They were crocs.
They're crocs.
Yeah.
Y'all went on the crocodile tour, right?
Yeah, we do that every year as kind of like a thank you for everyone kind of coming down, and it's an effort to make it to Costa Rica, so we just want to throw a little kind of get together and go see the Crocs. You can rent a boat with space for 40 people, so that's
Yeah,
always
we
a
were we
fun
were
time.
told that that's how they disappear people there.
Yeah, it probably is. You got to run a Croc tour as part of your mafia.
But yeah, I saw some crazy video of like someone like were they like feeding the crocodile or something?
There was like 3 or 4 years ago, basically a guy committed suicide because did you stop at that main bridge where there's the market and then just like 14 crocs under the bridge? It was not part of the tour. you're just driving like maybe 15 kilometers up by
I
a highway.
drove by it, but we didn't stop at it. We were told by our tour or by our driver that, like, that's where the Crocs are right there.
Yeah, so if you stop there, like there's guys that'll sell you just a raw chicken that you can drop to the crocs and
What?
stuff like that. But the sad thing that happened was, I guess some guy was suicidal and just kind of ran down there and like got involved, and it's all on video
Oh,
and stuff like
what a
that.
horrible way to die.
Yeah, well, who knows? But that's how he chose to go.
I don't know. Being eaten by crocodiles is not on my top list.
Not the first in mind.
Um, well, that also reminds me of some crazy stories. Just like being in Costa Rica, just like the nature is so much more intense there. Like I remember one of our friends who works security for Lucidity. He also worked for Envision, and part of his job was to go around and get rid of all the poisonous snakes that
Yep.
entered the Envision festival, and they can spit poisonous venom up to 6 feet.
Yeah.
And like this guy's got like a big beard, and he would he's like a tall guy, big guy with big beard, and it like spat in his face, but his beard caught it and it melted that part of the beard off.
No way.
And
That's
apparently, if
insane.
it gets in your mouth, it kills you.
Yeah.
So this guy's beard literally saved his life.
That's crazy. Did he
Maybe you
have
need to
any
grow one
experience
out
like
next time
rounding
you
up?
go down there.
Did he have any experience like rounding up snakes before they gave him that position?
Oh, I have no idea.
That's crazy.
I know, right? Just like,
Yeah.
the different realities of the different environments. I'm sure well, I guess in Shambhala they got to worry about fires.
Yeah.
Because that was the last time I played Shambhala was 2017, I think. And that year our set almost got canceled
That
due
was
to
the
the
fire year.
fires.
Yeah.
There was like canceled, then it was uncanceled, then it was canceled again, then it was uncanceled a second time, and then we did it.
Yeah, that was a crazy year.
Yeah.
That was kind of the first ones that happened. I don't like, in my 10-year, 12-year history with Shambhala, fires season wasn't really a thing, but as of late it is. So, global warming children.
Hmm. Got it. Oh, now I live in the woods. But no, I live in a rainforest, so
That's good.
it's pretty wet out here. We're a couple miles from the coast or something like that. Um, Sometimes I can hear the ocean at nighttime. It's this
Oh,
like
that's epic.
low bass rumble.
Nice.
Um, yeah, but I love being out here. It's so funny, just like how like what is I guess you're adjusting probably to Portland pretty well. It's not that different than Vancouver, maybe a little less cold.
Yeah, I definitely unadjusted to Vancouver being in California the last 10 years. So it is a readjustment period, and I'm getting used to it. But I'm getting ready for the sun to come out. It's April. Um, the flowers are blooming. Enough of this rain already.
Yeah, I feel it. Oh man. Should we get into this track?
Yeah, let's have a look.
Aye. So this is our track, Heavyweights. As I said, we'll provide a link below of where y'all can find it. Just came out on Excision Subsidia. Excision's been playing it out. Just unreal, really
While he's been
crazy.
playing out, it's been going crazy.
Um, aye. So here is the project file. So this actually, I guess, tell some backstory. I actually started the majority of this track as a remix for Apache's "Gotta Run." They were doing a contest there, and I literally forgot to submit it to the contest. I
Well, I'm
felt
glad you
so
did.
stupid, but honestly, it was for the better.
It was.
Honestly, it was for the better. Because if I had submitted this to the Apache contest, then, that might have been released or might not have been released, and Excision wouldn't have played it out.
It would have ran its course a different way, that's for sure.
Yeah. And like, I remember just being like bummed out that I couldn't figure out what to do with this track because I couldn't use the original vocals for it. I didn't want to release it. as a remix, just because I didn't think it was. I thought the track was really good, so I didn't know what to do with it. And then you hit me up to be like, "Hey, let's work on another track together." And I sent you a couple different things, and you really liked this one, and then I was like, I don't know what to do with this one. And then you're like, let me do it.
Well,
And
you had
I,
already done so much work on it.
yeah, I'd done a lot of it. And then you came in and really helped like give, I think, the track a new character, because I think vocals really do, they set the tone for the track and like give it like, like the kind of character that it's going to have.
Yeah, I remember those Apache vocals being pretty hype, and they really worked well with the tune. So when we took them out, it was a bit of a gaping hole there.
Yeah. And so we were trying out a bunch of different vocal chop things, but I think we ultimately liked this one that you added in.
Hmm.
That is this thing,
It ain't over till I say so. It ain't over till I say. It ain't over till I say so. It ain't over till I say.
and then it's got
I'm a heavyweight. It ain't over till
the classic "I'm a heavyweight"
I'm
thing,
a
and then it goes into,
heavyweight. I ain't got time. I ain't got time for this. I ain't got time. I ain't got time.
and then it's got my vocal in here
I'm a heavyweight. Titan.
and some yoinky yoinks. But yeah, I think this sort of like gave the track like a new kind of attitude, that it was just without it, it wouldn't be the same.
Hmm.
And we were trying to come up with something here like "I'm a heavyweight." Um, it almost felt like the sentence needed to be completed, so I came up with Titan because I was like, "Heavyweight Titan." That sounds badass. Um,
That's what I wanted to name the track, Titans.
I know, which maybe we should have, but it is what it is now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember these are my voice. Let's see here. If we unfreeze these, how nerdy and terrible do I sound? Uh, let's see here. If we turn this.
Titan.
Oh, it's pitched up.
Titan.
Titan.
I'm like Titan, like trying to be a voice actor.
It's Titan.
Titan.
Titan. I sound so silly.
Tighten it up.
But
Titan.
and then it even sounds sillier, but then with all the processing,
Titan.
it passes. So little altar
I remember
boy.
going back and forth on that bit and really working hard to sync that into the track.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you're like, you've got a great ear for attitude, I think, and vocal enunciation. And yeah, I tried a lot of different attempts at this, and they all sounded like nerdy.
Yeah.
Uh, but I think you dialed in. Do you use Little Altar Boy?
I love Little
I
Altar
think
Boy.
you're the one that dialed this one in.
Yeah. If
Um,
you're like, because I remember the original vocals had a cadence. It was like a Russian rap
yeah,
where there's a girl and a guy at the same time, and trying to find a vocal that kind of had that. It's like a squirrely cadence, but you don't want it to sound squirrely. You know what I mean? Like it more
no.
just like a hype chick. Which isn't really most chick vocal samples will be like, oh, you know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah. They're
So
just like a cappella.
this we had to turn like almost a kid, an aggressive children kind of cadence. And
Mm,
that's where I came with it ain't over till I say so. It ain't over till I say. I'd love to
mm.
hear the original cadence of that sample if you could like unwarp that and I
Yeah,
don't
let's
even remember
try it
what the
out.
phrase was.
Let me un rewarp this bit here.
Yeah.
Save us some CPU. Uh, okay, great. So unwarped. So this was the original. Let's remove all
Original
the
pitch.
effects and everything.
Look at all those effects, Jesus.
Yeah, we went
I
wild
love
on
your
the
effects,
effects.
by the way. I use your boxes all the time.
Oh, cool! Yay!
And I just bought that new serum patch set.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah,
gravity power. Yeah.
yeah,
By
that's
the
pretty
way,
dope. Pop
I
that shit
just
later on.
released a new serum preset pack. You know, I'll provide a link below where y'all can get that as well. Approved by the man himself. I
It bangs. I like the
yeah,
deep sounds in there. Great.
yeah. I want to make more. I got a lot of good comments on those. I think I nailed the "Give It to Me Like I Want It" tone.
Okay.
You know that song?
I do, yeah.
Sorry, Kumarion. I nailed your song sound. Basic FM
You're mine.
synthesis.
It ain't over till I say so.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, see? I had to make that like a Russian kind of rap cadence. I don't know how I got that up there, but I guess I did.
Oh my God.
It ain't over till I say so.
This sounds lazy.
It ain't over till I say so.
Yeah, but now, with
It's
all
swaggy
the,
though. You can tell like he's in a pocket when he's doing that.
yeah, but then
It ain't over till I say so. It ain't over till I say.
this one goes with the rhythm a lot more.
Yeah.
And then it's got, I don't got the time while it's building up. And so it's like, everyone's like, I don't know. It works out
Yeah,
really
like that.
well.
I ain't got time for this fucking build up. You know what I mean?
And we build it up and then go into the, all right, so let's look at this drop. So that sound, that's pretty much the main sound right there. Which that's also from my last preset pack, which is the alien bass one. And this is one of the
Yeah, I
presets in
got
it.
that shit too.
Yeah. It's this one that I called Ganji. I was sort of trying to make like a Ganja White Knight sound. I don't know if I succeeded, but
Remember that all the synths were named after artists.
yeah. That's because I was unoriginal in my song preset naming. But yeah, I was trying to go for something. Oh yeah, it's that tritone. That's the interval. No, 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 no. That's what gives it like that metal kind of sound. So what the heck is even going on here? Well, I think this is really interesting because part of the wobble comes from the ring mod. It adds in this like interesting harmonic in there.
A lot of nice movement in that one.
Yeah, which like I guess this is it's interesting because it almost is like a sine wave, but it's all messy in it. And if I remove this, was it?
It looks like a side.
Yeah, if I that's like the majority of the sound right there, is that thing. So it's like busy, but it's still got like a good fundamental. But it looks like I add in oh wait, no, that's high pitched. Interesting.
Yeah, there's your top end and that sub.
So I'm using the sub as a top end and then more noise. And then this ring mod, I think I've got it set up so that way the note specifically corresponds with the cutoff.
Yeah.
So that way it wobbles it in tune with like the ring mod effect.
Yeah, and you got to hit that little keyboard to get that going.
Exactly. Yeah. And what's crazy is that it sounds big and wide, but it's got very little unison. I guess there's chorus on the noise, and then the hyper dimension, or the dimension specifically.
Maybe that compressor alters the sound on Serum.
Oh yeah, with the multi-band, because it's like OTT, it's like a
Yeah,
built-in
but it's like
OTT.
extreme.
Yeah, but oh, also on here I am automating the threshold, so that's like making the compression move as well. That's something I've been enjoying doing. And then what's this filter do? That honestly doesn't sound like it does much. Maybe it boosts the volume a little bit. But this EQ, having that bump there in the low mids, actually does quite a bit. But it's funny, it's like a pretty simple sound, but just with like really unique little ways to add in more movement in the timbre while still having a really strong note. And then basically all the other basses are like variations of that. Like here's the other serum. And oh yeah, then we got Soothe too on these things.
Some Soothe too.
Yeah, I think we both discovered Soothe around the same time, and we used it in our last collab.
I'd known about it for years, and I never copped it, which is just silly of me. I use it every day.
What was the name of our last track that we collabed on?
Was that the one on my record?
Yeah, the one that we were at your house.
Activated.
Look at this, we forgot our own track name.
Hey, we make a lot of tracks, bro.
Oh man, I've forgotten it too. But I remember we had so much fun at your apartment in LA when we were working on that, and I think that's around when I first got
Hard in the Paint.
Hard in the duh.
How do we forget that?
Which I still play that track out.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, and so this other sound here, it's pretty much the same sound, but it's got just more high end, and then also I have like almost this like switch back and forth between the wavetable position on this missing string. And then there's a deeper version here on the fade out. And look, this one's just like a sine wave almost. And that's the difference. And I got rid of that high pitched thing. But they're all sort of like doing the similar thing. Yeah, so instead of like a noisy sine wave, this is closer to a normal sine wave, but it's like bent a little bit. Yeah, I always find that really interesting, just like how simple like wavetables, you can create so much amazing stuff just with sine waves and like saw waves.
Seems like sine's the foundation, and then you just kind of dirty it up a bit.
Yeah, because like that's essentially like where the bulk of that sound comes from, is the like the distortion on the sine wave.
Round bottom that really kind of adds, beef to your track. Can you play the drop without any of those kind of main synths? I want to hear what kind of effects, and because I know we got like some whoosh and like
Yeah. There's a lot of effects. Yeah, so I'll turn off the bass group. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm a heavyweight.
I like adding a lot of cymbals. Oh yeah. Sirens.
I remember the last thing you added was that kind of high pitched talk on the snare. And
that's
really drove that drop home, I thought.
It's a VR sample that's got reverb and compression on it. I just pitched it to...
I think it was in there before, but it was pitched wrong, and it was like buried in the mix, possibly.
No, I don't think so. I think what it was is that I had another sample that was doing a similar thing.
And we replaced it.
And then, yeah, because this is the snares. It's like got the body of a snare, and then one of them's like more smacky. That one's more smacky. This one's more thuddy. Yeah, because look at that, boost the heck out of that transient there. at 132 hertz. Yeah, but yeah, adding this in there, it just added like it gave tonality. It almost sounds like a bird. Yeah, but it
Oh,
just
we had more effects underneath it, but I guess we didn't really.
let's see here.
Or
I mean, we've got
are they in that instrument layer, like that synth layer, but not the main synths? Or?
here if I take out this sound. No. I mean, we've got like the cuts and whatnot in this sound.
I think this is what I'm talking about.
The vroom.
Love that bit.
Like this sound, it sounds so much like Bass Nectar and Ilgate's Expand. Is it Expand? Like they have some track. I can't remember what
Feels
it
like
is.
a boxer kind of
But
just
this sound is so
watching you.
this sound is so lame. But then when I reversed it and then just layered it with itself.
Reverse dunk.
But it sounds so rich and
That's-
growly just having that reverse at the beginning.
yeah, that makes a huge difference. It
It's
takes away
so
all the attack out of it too.
yeah, because it turns into this like it's like you feel it turning, you know. Otherwise, it's just like this. You know, it's not very good. And then the who really compressed and boosted up there. But yeah, cutting away everything else during those times. But yeah, I guess there is like a lot of like vocal kind of chant. Someone saying go and someone else saying ho.
Yeah, I remember putting those in. I think.
Yeah, I don't remember putting these in. So,
Yeah.
oh, and then there's some other little
I'm a heavyweight.
that. But
I
yeah,
remember you chopped that bit. That
is that what did I do that?
I think so.
All right. And then I like to have a lot of cymbals in like my heavy tracks. Feel like it really drives the groove. But it's got this fast, like almost 30-second or 16th note tambourine. That's like in the background being driven by the like I like to have it so that way my beats can stand on their own. And I can just like groove to just the drum track. These little,
Free makeup.
yeah, and then also I thought was interesting is that during the builds or the verses, this is all serum. Like all the strings and horns is all serum.
That big horn.
Yeah, but all together sounds epic. But if we unfreeze this, it's a hybrid sampler inside of Serum, where it's it's like a sample of a trombone in the sample noise thing, but then it's a wavetable of a trombone, like turned in, and then it's got the LFO on the wavetable position, and so it's like sounds. It sounds really good.
That'd be a nice patch putting all three of those together into one patch.
That's what I think. That's what I did.
No, I know, but I'm just saying in one patch for like a sample pack or something.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Ultra
You're right.
mega horns.
Yeah, because like by themselves, they sort of sound like
Horns are always like that.
yeah,
They either have good top end or they have good body. And
Yeah.
they're good.
and you gotta like layer a couple different versions of them together to like really dial it in.
Starts to like act like a soft.
Oh yeah, you're right. So this part was actually inspired by Fantasia.
That makes sense.
Like you know the night on Bald Mountain.
I would have to revisit it, but
It's
yeah.
that there's like that demon on the mountain, and he's like summoning all of his like spirit creatures from the town, and it's like it gave me nightmares as a kid. This like Disney Fantasia scene, um, but it's this musical piece called Night on Bald Mountain, and I think I remember I was living in this dome in Ojai, and for whatever reason, I was like revisiting Fantasia, and I think that's where this initial horn line came from. It just sounds so
That's funny.
ominous. And then the strings in here also are serum patches as well with the same technique.
Those arpeggio strings.
Yeah. So it's like the string wavetable plus the string sample, and then, together, layered together. And then all to. And then some actual real samples, the edges. Oh, and then there's like that trance synth. This trancey synth that's a spire. But yeah, I don't know. All of it together sort of creates this cool orchestral nightmare. And with the vocals on top of it, I think it just nails in an interesting vibe where it's almost like hip hop, like badass kind of vocal, but over an evil orchestra, but it
Yeah.
goes into dubstep.
I think that's probably what drew me to it in the first place.
Mm. Was
I always
was
like a
what
good
bit?
intro and a good vibe setting, you
Mm.
know. And the drop is the big payoff, but
Yeah.
you gotta set the tone first for it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's what like I really enjoy about contrast, is when you can contrast things in this sort of unique way, but that fits.
Hmm.
That's what I'm all about, is like pushing boundaries. Oh yeah, also here, setting up context and vibes, by the way, is at the beginning there's a whole riot scene in the song. And this is one of my favorite things to do in
It's great
tracks.
for mixing.
Oh, it's terrible for mixing.
No, I love it, man,
Oh, you
because
do?
yeah, you play it kind of at the end of a first drop of something,
Mm.
and it's just like, and then you got 8 bars to get into it.
Oh
It
yeah.
actually mixes quite easily, I think.
Oh, cool.
It's like it's a very safe kind of mix for me.
Yeah, I usually mix in like,
'Cause by the
oh
time
wait.
it gets to verse one, it kind of has to be all the way in because it's so
Hmm.
fucking busy.
Oh, okay, yeah, I see what you mean.
But
Yeah,
I
but
mix quickly. I mix 8 bars, 16 bars usually.
so here it's like I really like setting up like real world scenarios for like the song to exist in. So here it's like some alien technology, helicopter, a riot scene in the background, diary. But yeah, I love this.
That makes it a good intro kind of track. Oh shit!
You know,
You got the
um,
LA riots on tape there?
I don't know, something. I think I got this off Splice,
Yeah.
but and then the helicopter, just it makes it feel so real, and it's like all of a sudden you're in a movie scene, and
With a
then
siren.
you can hear like the Walla Walla in the background of the crowd. Well, not anymore. Yeah, that's always been a fun part. I guess we should also mention that the second drop is a drum and bass track, which I remember like at first you weren't entirely convinced of.
Yeah. Um, I don't know. I'm just not. I did that a lot early in my career, like multi-genre songs,
Yeah.
and I feel sometimes it's a cop out in a way because you're taking the same drop and you're changing the drums rather than the drop.
Mm.
which is pretty simple to do to change a percussion into a drop, but I think it really worked for this one. It just took me a while to get over that hurdle, and I just make sure I don't do it more than once or twice, every few years kind of thing.
And me, I'm just like, all the genres, throw them all in the song.
Yeah.
And sometimes I get a little crazy with it. But in this particular case, I was playing it out as sort of a way for me to transition from 160 into drum and bass stuff in like a smooth way. But I noticed that when Excision plays it out, he drops into another track. But also that's because he only plays a minute of any song anyway. Like all of his songs, he just plays like a minute of, except for some of his long melodic ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, here's the drum and bass. And then it goes back to halftime.
Yeah, see, if you're a drum and bass lover and you only get 8 bars of drum and bass, how do you feel about that? Or if you're a drum and bass hater and then they throw 8 bars in your face, how do you feel about that?
They deal with it.
You gotta just fucking deal with it.
Yeah, because it's a tease. Because it's sometimes I've been doing this a lot more. I've been thinking about writing songs in the context of like where it's gonna be placed in my set. Mm-hmm. And not always. I don't always think about it that way, but sometimes I do think about it that way. And in this case, it was like filling like a utilitarian role almost.
Yeah. Transition songs can be super utilitarian. I remember I had one that I played for like almost 3 years straight just to get me kind of where I wanted to go.
Yeah.
Maybe from 85 up to 100, which is a bit of a task.
Yeah. Also, I really do like that
people use this for that same reason.
Yeah. I do really like the halftime, just like just the 170 range, like halftime stuff. I always have a lot of fun with that.
We messed with the tempos a bit. It started at 75 and went to 80, and then I think we changed it from 80 to 85.
Yeah. Oh no, it originally went to like 174, 172, and then we lowered it.
What did it start at originally? Was it always 80?
I think it started at 160, 80.
It always did? Okay.
Yeah. I think though we did it? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it did. But then we slowed down the second part because I think
it was 75 when you sent it to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I could be wrong.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Well, I remember. Oh, yeah. So if we look at the, we actually automate the speed here. I was playing around with like where to put the speed up in the track. And that was like really bugging me because it felt too fast to do it within 8 bars. Mm-hmm. And it felt too slow to do it. It felt weird to like have the BPM changing all the way up to the drop. Mm-hmm. Like it felt like it needed at least like 4 bars
just
to like
stabilize, right?
Yeah, stabilize into a BPM. I was really thinking of Zomboy and Skrillex's track that did something similar to this.
Okay.
Though theirs went from 150 to 100.
That's a dope little change.
Pretty wild. Yeah, it was Ragabomb. You remember that one?
I'd have to hear it again for sure.
It was a super dope track. But yeah, and that's the journey of heavyweights. Anything else that you can think of on this thing?
I mean, let's hear it through. Maybe halfway through the first intro.
So like right here.
Yeah.
All right, we'll listen through. Yeah, what's all that? Yeah. Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah.
I think you covered it pretty good, man. The only other spots that I like in that tune that are those. They're kind of like a wub riser in the builds.
Oh, I
I
think
thought
that's
that was
just
pretty unique. You should show the people how you achieve that one.
this right here, I think.
Same synth we used in the outro.
Yeah, I think you're right. Wow, is this? Oh, whoa, damn! Look at this EQ.
Holy Nikes.
What is going on there? What's? What was I doing? I think I was like,
Needed it to pierce through or something.
yeah, I think so. It must have been. Oh, yeah. So it's the same outro synth where it's like that simpler version of the Ganji sound, but still got the ring mod. But I'm basically pitch bending it up over time. And then, is there anything on the group? No. Yeah, it's basically pitch bending up, but it's like so warm that it sort of feels like it almost feels like it's filtered, even though it's not. And then I guess let's listen to these with. Yeah, you're right. This was to like get it to poke through, because otherwise it's so soft that you almost don't even hear it at all. I guess I'm also getting rid of a particular frequency in there, or two different frequencies that were like too loud when I boosted it up that much.
Right.
But
Yeah, show them your notch EQ, man. Show 'em.
yeah, yeah, I guess we're getting rid of very specific frequencies, because otherwise, yeah, I don't hear it at all. And there, I do hear it. Wild. Yeah, that was good. Good to point that out. Also, I just really like the MIDI. It's just, I guess here at the end, I guess this switched it up a little bit, but just using tritones and minor seconds. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 semitones away from each other. So it's like this na 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 na. So it's just like the most dissonant notes in the melody of the bass line, you know. Um,
Of that character.
yeah, it really just gives it like that, like I don't know, dark evil. Like those, it's so crazy because like if you had played this interval in a church like 400 years ago, they would kill you for playing this a tritone
They'd burn you at the
because it was
stake.
considered like the devil's note or the devil's interval. Um, and now it's like such like a key element to like you know metal music and bass music and whatnot
Do you
because
have
it's
these
like
notes overlapping, or do they bend into each other?
I think these bend into each other. I'm almost certain of it because this is yeah, it's monophonic here, and it's set to portamento bend.
Portamento bend.
Um, but yeah, I can't really think of anything else to mention this track other than y'all should go stream it, download it, play it out. I think you're going to really love it.
Pop that shit.
The crowd reaction's always been really massive. It's very cool to see that.
Hell yeah. Shout
But
out
yeah.
for Subsidia releasing that one for us.
Yeah, huge thanks to Excision and the Subsidia team. We super appreciate y'all. Y'all are awesome. Jeff, do you have anything that you're going to be releasing here soon?
Yeah, this might be the first announcement of it, but we're working on an activated part two, reactivated album.
Oh, cool.
So I think we're looking probably May something for that.
May. Oh, hey.
Yeah.
And then are you playing some shows?
Yeah, I got two shows this upcoming weekend. Got Minneapolis at the Skyway Theater.
What
And then,
about, because this is probably going to go up on my YouTube next week.
okay, well, you
Yeah.
missed the show, but it was dope. And then I'm heading up to Canada for a few dates. So I got Thunder Bay and then Edmonton and Calgary. So busy for the next couple weekends here, and then stoked to come back and kick into festival season.
All right. Uh, and then what do I have coming up? I don't even know. It's so funny because it's like I focus so much and like am so on it, and then I forget everything. And I have to write all of it down. But yeah, next week I am doing a LA show
Oh,
and a Seattle show.
awesome. Nice.
Seattle
Playing in
next
Seattle.
Thursday. I'm playing at the High Dive.
High dive. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and then I'm doing a show. I'm playing with Jansen and Space Wizard in LA April 1st. Yeah, and then Lucidity's after the weekend after that.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's always a fun one.
have you played Lucidity?
I did a
Yeah,
bunch of years back.
yeah. Did you play the Nook?
The stage kind of down at the end.
Yeah, that's the Nook. That's the
Yeah.
bass music stage. So it's so like my girlfriend Ashtree and I we met at Lucidity almost 8 years ago.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Festival babies.
yeah. I definitely look at.
You haven't changed a wink.
I still look the same. Apparently, I just have thinner glasses now.
There you
I used to have these big, chunky nerd glasses. I think you saw me there during that time. Like it would like blow up my face,
go. I do remember them for
you know,
sure.
and my face would look all distorted.
I remember you came backstage for like a show in the Midwest randomly or something that I was playing.
Oh no, it was in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember just weird white hallways and kicking it with you in the hallways.
yeah. And Ash came out to that show too.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and we were like hanging out. It was like this really weird like warehouse, and it had like these stairways, and like your green room was like a closet.
It was like a maze away, and then you had to find this green room closet.
Yeah, the green room was like this like closet somewhere, and then like we ended up hanging like in the back of this weird warehouse, but it was like outside. It was actually sort of cool. It
Yeah,
was on some train tracks or something like that.
something like that.
But that was I think you had played like an after party for something because we were up really late.
Hmm.
That was a fun show though. You really rocked that one, I remember.
Nice.
And cool. So what else? I think that's all the things. Yeah, go download the track. You'll love it. Hit like and subscribe. Share this with another producer friend. And also down below, I have all of Stylust's socials. So definitely go give him a follow. I have mine down there as well. And we'll see you aliens in the future. Jeff, thank you so much for coming on. And I so appreciate your friendship and, just like making bass music with you, man. Like you're an inspiration, and I
Likewise,
appreciate
my
you,
brother.
man.
It's always a pleasure, man. Anytime.
Aye.
Hope to see you soon. Come
Aye.
rock in the new studio.
Yes. Peace, aliens.
Peace.